acknowledge
been agreed to do that.
Like, can we just acknowledge, like, it is to be a nerd right now, and where that is, like, basically, if you are into fantasy, if you like fantasy genre, if you're into sci-fi, if you're into, superhero comics and stuff, now is the best time that there's ever been to be a fan of any of that, because, like, nerdiness is king right now. Like, that is, like, all of the high quality, high monetized content is all for nerds right now.
It's true.
It is all
best
for
selection,
nerds.
man.
We have the best selection of anything right now. It is crazy. Like, I just, like, sometimes I think, like, I'm not a big sports guy, but admittedly, sports probably beats that out still. But
I mean,
not.
esports.
But even esports is coming up, and that's nerds. That's us.
We got everybody.
Yeah, like, esports are they already outperforming regular sports?
They outperformed the Super Bowl.
Wow, that's just
it was
crazy.
pretty ridiculous.
What is up, Jake the Snake? Is that Bob Ross in there? I love it.
Bob Ross.
I think it is. I can't tell. But yeah, I mean, it is a good time. So I mean, let's just take. I don't want to spend. I think honestly, like, it's a topic that we could go on for like hours with, but I kind of want to get just to the grassroots of it. What are your thoughts? What if you had to say that one of these shows at the end of it is going to be? Let's say it was Survival of the Fittest, but only one can make it out. You're given that prompt. Only one can make it out. Everything you know. Who do you think has it, and why?
At this time, I feel like it's very early in the game to kind of give the end-all be-all to anybody. I feel like Witcher has a really good start.
Yep.
I definitely feel like it's going to pull in a lot more fans this way. I'm really happy about it. Lord of the Rings has a huge name to kind of put behind. So if they don't put out on the first season and they don't give people what they want, I really think that Witcher's going to have a really easy time kind of surpassing expectations.
Yeah.
And then Game of Thrones, I really feel, and just kind of in that state of like, we've already been through this once. So
yeah, a lot of people are going to be afraid to be hurt again.
Oh, okay, man, it's going to be a tough one. But I feel like it's definitely possible.
Ooh. Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, there's each of them has a noticeable strength. I think Lord of the Rings has the budget, right? I think Lord of the Rings has the budget, and somewhat, in some ways, the fan base. But I think all of them have the fan base. I think we were kind of establishing.
Sorry.
You're good. I think we can agree all of them have the fan base, but Lord of the Rings has the budget. Okay.
Oh man, they're coming in. The wallets are bigger than anybody else. But I definitely think if season 2 of The Witcher comes, I'm pretty sure they're going to up the budget, especially after they've seen like how well it's done so far.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think when it comes down to, I think I see if The Witcher could pull it off. The Witcher has I think I'm going to go through and I'm going to say one strength for each one. I think The Witcher has the strength of just being the first mover. They're coming out first, following Game of Thrones, the Game of Thrones void. So I'm going to say Witcher has that advantage. I'm giving right now the Lord of the Rings has the budget advantage, but it's still got a few years off. And HBO the Game of Thrones just has I think it has the popularity and the direct connection to the biggest property to the property that the void is being filled for. So I think that's like its biggest strength is that it's filling the void of the show that left the void, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
true.
So I think that's a strength. I think what it's going to come down to is they all have such a large fan base, but I think it's going to come down to which streaming service is going to be prevailing in that time. Which streaming service is going to be successful, because Netflix is seriously in debt right now. Which streaming service is going to be able to stay relevant, and then also what show is just going to have Which show is going to be most appealing? Which it's going to come down to performance. I think it is going to come down to which show can perform. I think marketing aside, I think all of them are going to put heavy into marketing, but it's going to come down to which is going to stand out, which is going to be is quality. Right now, I want it to be Lord of the Rings. Because I just want Lord of the Rings to be the one. Game of Thrones just upset me, and I could never see a thing in Game of Thrones in my life, and I'd be a little happier. Unless they just paid to redo this last season, then I would watch it. But, they could have stick figures reenact the last season. It would be better. So,
it's true.
But anyway, that's my take. Is I think it could go either way. I'm gonna say that my money is on Lord of the Rings 2, and I really want it to be on Lord of the Rings. Like, I really want Lord of the Rings to be successful, and I also think that it's going to be the best. Like, I think it's going to be the most successful. Just because it has so much source material, it has so much potential. I have a lot of hopes for it. If you had to put your money on one, and then which one do you want to win?
Money on one?
So if you had to pick, which one do you think is going to be the best? Like, which one do you think is going to come out on top? And which one do you want to come out on top? Obviously, they could all be successful without getting rid of the other, but let's just assume you had to say one is going to win out and is going to be the big winner, like the big obvious victor in this battle. And which one do you want to be the big victor? Which one do you want to see all the way through?
Killed him finally. All right. I definitely think I'm very excited for Lord of the Rings. I feel like they have, like you said, the budget is there for them to succeed. They have a huge fan base, and I feel for a fact that the fan base is going to come to kind of see what they have to offer, of course.
Yep.
The Witcher, I feel like, is going to be, for me, the number one. They have a great fan base already. They already have great sales. Netflix does a really good job at kind of... Come on. There. Oh, nope. All right. These guys are awful. Can you run? Yes, you can. I think I saved you. Yes.
No.
They are ridiculous.
All
they
right.
just punch your mouth.
Well, so let's hear your final call, and then
Yes.
we'll call it probably for the day here after your thing. So what is your final? What is the one that's gonna make it? Oh, or what do you think is gonna be the one that you put your money on to be the most successful? Which one do you want to be the most successful?
I want the new Game of Thrones to be successful. I feel like they lost out on a lot and kind of help out the series in general. I feel like I know for a fact that The Witcher is going to be definitely successful. They have too much content, and it's all great content. And I really feel like the eye is going to be on The Lord of the Rings. They have the budget, but do they actually have the balls to kind of nut up or shut up?
You say it's the biggest room to fail is with The Lord of the Rings?
Oh, man, they have such room to fail.
Yep.
If they displease the fans, I feel like most hard fans are going to stick with it through, the first or second season. They're going to see what's going on. But I feel like a verdict's going to be made really soon when it first launches to kind of see.
I agree with that.
See how it's doing.
So
but,
you think that you could make the most money betting off Lord of the Rings, but if you're putting your money safely, you would say Witcher is the one.
Yeah,
yep. Especially because it helps that we've seen the first season, and but definitely Game of Thrones is reliable and like somewhat in the sense that you could see it doing well. I mean, they know what to do for the most part. It'll be interesting. Well, I think we have it there. I mean, your money's on Witcher. My money's on Lord of the Rings. Actually, I think I could see, but I see what you're saying. Honestly,
it's hard. It's a hard call to make at this time.
I just don't want to touch Game of Thrones ever again because
it's scary.
Because it's just
really
because it's just I loved it so much that it was so disappointing to see an ending like that. But
it's like you said, it's going to be a good time for them to see messed up. What are they going to do to kind of reel fans back into that whole territory that was awful to end? So
yeah. So I'm going to say it there. My money's on Lord of the Rings, and I hope it is. I hope it does meet my expectations. Well, honestly, there you guys have it. That's how we feel on this. let us know what you think, either in the comments here, on the comments on this video once we put it out on YouTube, or you can just come on to Instagram or Twitch or YouTube at Burke the Nerd. You can see Eddie at TurdFerguson8 on Twitch, also on YouTube and on Instagram as well.
Not Instagram yet, mostly Twitter.
All right, great. And on Twitter at TurdFerguson8. And again, me at Burke the Nerd. I hope that, like me, you guys are having an awesome day. And I will see you guys on the next stream. You guys have a good one.